Chapter 56. Excellence of Simple Living and Being Content with Little. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, reported, "The family of Muhammad never ate to the fill the bread of barley for 2 successive days until he died." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Another narration is, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said, "Never did the family of Muhammad eat to the fill, since their arrival to Al-Madinah, the bread of wheat, for 3 successive nights, until his death." Urwa, from Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, reported that she used to say to Urwa, may Allah be pleased with him, "O son of my sister, by Allah, I used to see the new moon, then the new moon, then the new moon, i.e., 3 moons in 2 months, and a fire was not kindled in the house of Messenger of Allah." Urwa said, "O my aunt, what were your means of sustenance?" She said, "Dates and water, but it so happened that Messenger of Allah had some Ansar neighbors who had milch animals. They used to send Messenger of Allah some milk of their animals, and he gave that to us to drink." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Sa'id Makburi reported, Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, said that he happened to pass by some people who had a roast lamb before them. They invited him, but he declined, saying, "The Messenger of Allah left the world without having eaten his fill with barley bread." Al-Bukhari. Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, "The Prophet neither ate on a dining cloth, nor ate soft bread throughout his life." Al-Bukhari. One narration adds, he never even saw a samit lamb. Samit is an animal prepared for food by removing its hair, by boiling water, and then roasted without being skinned. This type of food is preferred by wealthy people. Editor's note: an-Nu'man bin Bashir, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, "I have seen your Prophet when he did not find enough of even the inferior quality of dates to eat and fill his belly." Muslim. Sa'd bin Sa'd, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah had never seen bread made out of fine flour. Throughout his life, since Allah commissioned him until his death, he was asked, "Did you not have sieves at the time of the Messenger of Allah?" He replied, "Messenger of Allah never saw a sieve." He was asked, "How did you manage to eat barley bread made of unsieved flour?" He said, "We used to ground it, and then blew away the husk, and what remained we kneaded into dough." Al-Bukhari. Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah went out of his house one day or one night, and there he met Abu Bakr and Umar, may Allah be pleased with them also. He said, "What made you leave your houses at this hour?" They said, "It is hunger, O Messenger of Allah." He said, "By Him in whose hands my soul is, what made you leave, made me also leave. So come along." and he went along with them to a man from the Ansar. But they did not find him in his house. When the wife of that man saw the Prophet, she said, "You are most welcome." Messenger of Allah said to her, "Where is so-and-so?" She said, "He went to fetch some fresh water for us." In the meantime, the Ansari came back, saw Messenger of Allah and his two companions, and said, "Praise be to Allah. Today no one has more honorable guests than I." He then went out and brought them a bunch of date fruit, having dates, some still green, some ripe, and some fully ripe, and requested them to eat from it. He then took his knife to slaughter a sheep. Messenger of Allah said to him, "Do not kill a milched sheep." So he slaughtered a sheep for them. After they had eaten and drunk to their fill, Messenger of Allah said to Abu Bakr and Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, "By him in whose hand my soul is, you will certainly be questioned about this treat on the day of resurrection. Hunger brought you out of your homes, and you do not return to your homes till you have been blessed with this treat." Muslim. Khalid bin Umar al-Adawi reported, Utbah bin Ghazwan, the governor of Basra, delivered a khutbah. He praised Allah, glorified him, then said, Amma bi'adu, verily, the world has been given the news of its end, and is running to meet its end. Swiftly, nothing is left out of it, but a very little amount, similar to the remainder in a dish, whose owner is collecting it to drink, and you are going to move to an abode which knows no end, and you should proceed there with the good before you. For we have been informed by the Prophet that a stone would be thrown at one side of the hell, and it would travel down for 70 years, but would not reach its bottom. By Allah, it will be filled with men and jinn. Do you find it strange? We have been informed, i.e., by the Prophet, that the distance between two shutters of the gate of Jannah is 40 years distance, and a day would come when it would be fully packed. E was the seventh amongst the 7 who had been with Messenger of Allah, and we had nothing to eat but the leaves of the tree, until the sides of our mouth were injured. We found a sheet, which we tore into 2, and divided between myself and Sa'd bin Malik. I made the lower garment with half of it, and so did Sa'd. Today there is none amongst us who has not become the governor of a city, and I seek refuge with Allah, that I should consider myself great while I am insignificant to Allah. Muslim. Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, showed us a sheet and a thick lower garment, and said to us, Messenger of Allah was wearing them when he died. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Sa'd bin Abu Waqqas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, by Allah, I am the first Arab who shot an arrow in the cause of Allah. We fought along with Messenger of Allah, when our food was only the leaves of hubla and summer trees, wild trees, until one of us would defecate like the droppings of sheep. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah used to supplicate, O Allah, make the provisions of family of Muhammad bear subsistence. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, by Allah, other than whom there is none worthy of worship, I used to press my stomach against the earth, owing to my hunger. I would tie a stone over it. One day, I was sitting on the way they usually take, when the Prophet passed by me. When he saw me, he smiled at me, and knew my condition and my feelings. He called me, and I replied, At your service, O Messenger of Allah. He said, Follow me. So I followed him. Having arrived at home, he sought permission and entered. He allowed me in, and I too entered. He found milk in a bowl, and asked, Where is this from? He was told that it was a gift for him from so-and-so. He called me, and I responded, At your service, O Messenger of Allah. He said, Go to the people of as-Sufa and usher them in. He, Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, explained, the people of as-Sufa were guests of Islam. They had no family, no property, and no relations. When Messenger of Allah used to receive something in charity, he would send it to them without taking anything from it. When he received a present, he would send for them and share it with them. On this occasion, I disliked to give them anything. I said to myself, this meager quantity of milk will not be enough for all the people of as-Sufa. I am more deserving of it than anyone else. By drinking it, I may attain some strength. When they come, he will order me to give it to them. I do not expect that anything will be left for me from this milk, as there was no alternative but to obey Allah and His Messenger. I went and called them. They came and sought permission, which was granted. They took their seats. The Prophet called me, and I responded, At your service, O Messenger of Allah. He then said, Take the milk and give it to them. I took the bowl and gave it to one man, who drank his fill and returned it to me, and I gave it to the next, and he did the same. I went on doing this till the bowl reached Messenger of Allah. By that time, all had taken their fill. He took the bowl, put it on his hand, looked at me, smiled, and said, Abu here. I said, At your service, O Messenger of Allah. He said, Now you and I are left. I said, That is true, O Messenger of Allah. He said, Sit down and drink. I drank, but he went on saying, Drink some more. I said, By him who has sent you with the truth, I have no room for it. He said, Then give it to me. So I gave him the bowl. He praised Allah, uttered the name of Allah, and drank the remainder. Al-Bukhari, Muhammad bin Sirin, may Allah be pleased with him, reported. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, said, I would fall in swoon between the pulpit of the mosque of Messenger of Allah and the chamber of Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, and every passer-by would put his foot on my neck, thinking I was insane. I was not insane, but I was awfully hungry. Al-Bukhari. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, reported, when Messenger of Allah died, his armor was mortgaged with a Jew for 30 sa measures of barley. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the Prophet mortgaged his armor for a quantity of barley, and I took to him some barley bread and rancid fat. I heard him saying, the family of Muhammad never possessed a measure of wheat from dawn to dusk, although they were 9 houses to feed. Al-Bukhari. Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I saw 70 of the people of as-Sufa, and none of them had a cloak. They had either a lower cloth or a blanket, which they suspended from their necks. Some reached halfway down to the legs, and some to the ankles, and one of them would manage to keep it in his hand, to avoid exposing his private parts. Al-Bukhari. Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, reported, the mattress of Messenger of Allah was a piece of tanned skin, stuffed with palm fibers. Al-Bukhari. Ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, we were once sitting in the company of Messenger of Allah, when a man from the Ansar came and greeted. As he was leaving, Messenger of Allah said to him, O brother of the Ansar, how is my brother Sa'd bin Ubadah? He replied, he is well. Messenger of Allah asked, which of you is desirous of visiting him? Having said this, he got up, and we followed him. We were 10 and odd in number, and we had neither shoes, nor light boots, nor caps, nor shirts. We walked on foot through the barren plain, till we came to the residence of Sa'd, may Allah be pleased with him. His people made way, and Messenger of Allah, along with those who accompanied him, went up to him. Muslim. Imran bin Hussein, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, the Prophet said, the best of you are my contemporaries then, those who follow them, then those who will come after them. Imran said, I do not know if he said this twice or thrice. Then they will be followed by those who will testify, but will not be called upon to testify. They will betray the trust, and will not be trusted. They will make vows, but will not fulfill them, and obesity will prevail among them. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Abu Umama, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, O son of Adam, if you spend the surplus it will be better for you. And if you retain it, it will be evil for you. You will not be reprimanded for storing what is enough for your need. First of all, spend upon those who are your dependents. At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith as-Sahih, Ubaydullah bin Miksan al-Ansari, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, Messenger of Allah said, whosoever begins the day feeling family security and good health, and possessing provision for his day is as though he possessed the whole world. At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith Hasan, Abdullah bin Amr bin al-As, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, Messenger of Allah said, successful is the one who enters the fold of Islam and is provided with sustenance which is sufficient for his day's needs, and Allah makes him content with what he has bestowed upon him. Muslim, Fadallah bin Ubayd al-Ansari, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I heard Messenger of Allah say, happiness is due to him who is guided to Islam and possesses provision that suffices him for his day and remains content. At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith Hasan Sahih, Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, the Messenger of Allah went to bed hungry for several successive nights, nor did his family have a thing for supper for many consecutive nights, and their bread was mostly of barley. At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith Hasan Sahih, Fadallah bin Ubayd, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, when Messenger of Allah led Salat, some people would fall down from their standing posture out of extreme hunger. They were of the people of As-Sufa. The nomad Arabs would say that they were insane. After concluding Salat, Messenger of Allah would turn to them and say, if you were to know what is in store for you with Allah, the Exalted, you would wish to augment your starvation and lack of provisions. At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith Sahih, Miqdam bin Mad-Karib, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I heard Messenger of Allah say, no man fills a container worse than his stomach. A few morsels that keep his back upright are sufficient for him. If he has to, then he should keep 1/3 for food, 1/3 for drink, and 1/3 for his breathing. At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith Hasan, Abu Umama bin Thalaba, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, the companions of Messenger of Allah mentioned the life of the world before him. He said, do you not hear? Do you not hear? Simplicity in life is part of faith. Simplicity is part of faith. Abu Dawud. Jaber bin Abdullah, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, Messenger of Allah, Sam, sent us in an expedition under the command of Abu Ubaidah, may Allah be pleased with him, to intercept a caravan of the Quraysh. He provided us with a bag of dates, apart from which he found nothing for us. Abu Ubaidah, may Allah be pleased with him, gave each of us 1 date every day. He, the narrator, was asked, "What did you do with that?" He said, "We sucked that, just like a baby, and then drank water over that, and it was sufficient for us for the day until night. We beat off leaves with the help of our sticks, then drenched them with water, and ate them. We then went to the seaside, when there appeared before us something like a big mound. We came near it, and we found that it was a beast, called Al-Anbar. Abu Ubaidah, may Allah be pleased with him, said, "It is dead, so it's useless for us." He then said, "No, but it does not matter. We have been sent by Messenger of Allah, in the way of Allah, and you are hard-pressed on account of the scarcity of food, so you can eat that." We, 300 in number, stayed there for a month, until we fattened up, having plenty to eat of that fish. He, Jabir, said, "I saw how we extracted pitcher after pitcher, full of fat from the cavity of its eye, and sliced from it compact piece of meat equal to a bull, or almost like a bull." Abu Ubaidah, may Allah be pleased with him, called 13 men from us, and he made them sit in the cavity of its eye, and he held one of its ribs, and raised it erect, and then sidled the biggest of the camels we had with us, and it passed through it the arched rib, and we carried large pieces of meat for use in our journey. When we came back to Al-Madinah, we went to Messenger of Allah, and told him about that, whereupon he said, "That was a sustenance Allah had brought forth for you. Do you have any piece of meat left with you for us to eat?" Jabir, may Allah be pleased with him, said, "We sent a messenger of Allah some of that meat, and he ate it." Muslim, Asma bint Yazid, may Allah be pleased with them, reported, "The sleeves of the shirt of Messenger of Allah reached his wrists." At-Tirmidhi, who classified it as Hadith Hasan. Jabir, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, "On the day of the Battle of Al-Handak, the trench, we were digging the trench when a very hard boulder came in our way. The companions went to Messenger of Allah and told him about it. He said, "I will go down the trench to see it." He stood up, and it was noticed that he had tied a stone over his stomach, due to intense hunger. We had not tasted anything for 3 days. He took up a spade and struck the hard rock with it, and it turned into sand. I sought his permission to go home. After reaching home, I said to my wife, "I have seen the Prophet in a state that I am unable to endure. Have you got anything in the house?" She said, "I have a small quantity of barley and a lamb." I slaughtered the lamb, ground the barley, and put the meat in the cooking pot. Then I went to the Prophet. In the meantime, the flour had been kneaded, and the meat in the pot was nearly cooked. I said to him, "O Messenger of Allah, I have some food. Will you come along with 1 or 2 companions?" he asked. "How many men should go there?" I told him the number. He said, "It will be better if they are more in number. Tell your wife not to remove the pot from the hearth, nor the bread from the oven till I arrive." Then he said to the Muhajirun and the Ansar, "Let us go to eat." They all rose and went with him. I went to my wife and said, "Bless you, the Prophet, the Muhajirun, the Ansar, and the whole company are coming," she said. "Did he ask you?" I replied in the affirmative. When they arrived, Messenger of Allah said to his companions, "Enter, but do not crowd in." Then he started breaking up the bread and putting meat on it. He would take from the pot and the oven, then would cover them up, approach his companions, and hand it over to them. He would then go back and uncover the pot and the oven. He continued to break up the bread and put meat on it, till all had eaten to their fill, and still some of the food remained. Then he said to my wife, "Eat from it, and send it as a present, for the people have been afflicted with severe hunger." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Another narration is, Jabir said, "When the trench was being dug, I noticed the signs of hunger on the face of the Prophet. I returned to my wife and said to her, 'Have you got anything in the house? I have seen the signs of severe hunger on the face of Messenger of Allah.' She brought out a bag which contained a sa, a measure. That equals approximately 3 kilograms of barley. We had a lamb which was reared in the home. I slaughtered the lamb, and she ground the flour. For baking bread, I then cut the meat and put it in the cooking pot. When I was returning to Messenger of Allah, my wife said to me, 'Do not embarrass me before Messenger of Allah and his companions.' She said this because she thought that the food would not be enough for everyone. For how can very little food cater for 1,000 people? When I came to him, I said to him in a low tone, 'O Messenger of Allah, we have slaughtered a small lamb and have ground a saw of barley. Please accompany me with a few of your companions.' Thereupon he announced in a loud voice, 'O people of the trench, Jabir has arranged a feast for you, so all of you are welcome.' And addressing me, he said, 'Do not take the pot off the fire, nor bake the kneaded flour till I arrive.' So I came home, and he came ahead of the people. My wife said, 'It will be a matter of disgrace for you, because there is not enough food.' I said, 'I did only what you told me.' She brought out the kneaded flour, and Messenger of Allah spat into it and invoked the blessing of Allah on it. And then he spat into the cooking pot and invoked the blessing of Allah on it. Then he said, 'Call another woman to help bake bread, and let her take out from the cooking pot, but do not take it off the fire.' There were about 1,000 guests. All of them ate till they left the food and went off. Our pot still bubbled as before, and the dough was being baked as before. Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, reported. Abu Talha, may Allah be pleased with him, said to his wife, Sulaim, may Allah be pleased with her, I noticed some weakness in the voice of Messenger of Allah, and I feel it was due to hunger. Have you got any food? She said, yes. So she brought out barley loaves, took off her head covering, in a part of which she wrapped these loaves, and then put them beneath my mantle and covered me with a part of it. She then sent me to Messenger of Allah, Salam. I set forth, and found Messenger of Allah sitting in the mosque, in the company of some people. I stood near them, whereupon Messenger of Allah asked, Has Abu Talha sent you? I said, yes. Thereupon he said to those who were with him to get up and follow him. He went forth, and so did I, ahead of them, until I came to Abu Talha, and informed him. Abu Talha said, O Sulaim, here comes Messenger of Allah, along with the people, and we do not have enough food to feed them. She said, Allah and his Messenger know better. Abu Talha went out to receive him until he met Messenger of Allah, and he came forward along with him until they both, Messenger of Allah and Abu Talha, may Allah be pleased with him, came in. Then Messenger of Allah said, O Sulaim, bring forth what you have with you. So she brought the bread. Messenger of Allah commanded that the bread be broken into small pieces, and after Sulaim, may Allah be pleased with her, had squeezed clarified butter out of a butter container, and made it just like soup. Messenger of Allah recited over it what Allah wished him to recite. He then said, Allow 10 guests to come in. They ate until they had their fill. They then went out. He, Messenger of Allah, again said, Allow 10 more to come in. And he, the host, ushered them in. They ate to their fill. Then they went out. He again said, Allow 10 more, until all the people ate to their fill. They were 70 or 80 persons. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Another narration is, Anas said, when all had eaten, the remaining food was collected. It was as much as there was in the beginning. Yet another narration is, Anas said, the groups of 10 people ate by turn. After 80 persons had eaten, Messenger of Allah and the family of that house ate, and there was still a quantity left over. Another narration is, Anas, may Allah be pleased with him, said, I visited Messenger of Allah one day, and found him sitting in the company of his companions, with a belt tied over his waist. I asked, Why has Messenger of Allah tied the belt on his waist? I was told, Due to hunger, I went to Abu Talha, may Allah be pleased with him, the husband of Sulaim, may Allah be pleased with her, and said, O father, I have seen Messenger of Allah with a belt tied over his waist. I asked one of his companions about the reason of it, and he said that it was on account of severe hunger. Abu Talha, may Allah be pleased with him, went to my mother and asked, Have you got anything? She said, Yes, I have a piece of bread and some dry dates. Were Messenger of Allah to come alone, we could feed him his fill. But if he comes along with others, there would not be enough food. Anas then narrated the hadith in full.